Welcome to the Olympians Report, demigods, monsters, and gods alike. Here's everything you may have missed in episode 1 of season 2 of Percy, Jackson, and the Olympians. I play dodgeball with cannibals. The wait is finally over. Half-Blood season 2 of Percy, Jackson, and the Olympians is finally here. But before I jump into my breakdown video, I have some exciting news to share. Each week, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. And this week, I'm going to be giving away this season 2 poster. Details on how to enter will be at the end of the video. But now, let's jump into the breakdown. We start with Grover on his quest to search for Pan. And we start with Grover finding his Pan pipes, which, if you've read the book, you know is a staple of Grover. He's almost never seen without them. Grover tests them out, and immediately the wild reacts to him. We hear birds and see vines begin to curl. And this is a form of nature magic used by satyrs. And this reveals a team of demigods led by Allison Sims, who is a show-only addition and a daughter of Apollo, which makes her a sister of Will. Grover asks what campers are doing here. They're not allowed to search for Pan, to which Allison responds, "We're not campers anymore," hinting at the reason for their portrayal, which Riordan has also talked about. See, Allison and these demigods are working for Luke. They're looking for something, and we come to find out it's the Golden Fleece, hinted at by this golden hair on Grover's panpipes. They corner Grover, but using his new panpipes, he escapes. However, once he reaches the shore, it's started to rain and we see a giant sea creature, potentially a side effect of using the panpipes. Maybe he unintentionally summoned the storm and the creature, not knowing exactly how the nature magic works yet. We cut from Grover to Percy falling out of bed, inferring that Percy just witnessed what we did in a dream. We can see Percy's room is properly messy, perhaps from his ADHD, or maybe it's just because he's a middle school boy. Percy narrates to us much like season 1 when we're introduced to him.
You guys get nightmares, right? Probably not like mine.
He tells us how he has nightmares, but usually he talks to his best friends about them. We then cut to a picture of Grover and Annabeth on his mirror, and the picture of Annabeth is right from the books. It features her standing in front of the Pantheon. However, unlike the books, Percy does not keep it in his notebook. Percy then explains that one of the reasons he can't talk to Grover or Annabeth is because cell phones attract monsters, a detail that was left out of season 1. And a new feature of Percy's wardrobe this season is his camp necklace featuring one bead, signifying he has completed one summer at Camp Half-Blood. Percy then trips on a spinning contraption, and we follow it to its owner. Here we are introduced to Tyson, who we immediately know is a Cyclops, which is different from the books, where Percy didn't know until much later on. But overall, the change doesn't affect the story, and I love how we're introduced to him, with one of his inventions, hinting at his crafting abilities. Another change from the book is Tyson is actually living with Percy and Sally, and I'm all for this change. In the book, it was strange to me that caring Sally Jackson was okay with Tyson just living on the streets. So this change is much more in line with Sally's character. Percy explains that Sally took Tyson in and got him enrolled at Percy's school. We cut to flashbacks of Tyson in school being a lovable goofball. And unfortunately, that's all we get to see of Merryweather Prep. Everything about Tyson is so perfect, from Daniel's acting to his tiny mannerisms. It actually feels like Tyson was pulled out of the book. Percy tells Sally about his dream, and Sally reveals that she's also having dreams. And this could be a reference to Wrath of the Triple Goddess, where it was revealed that Sally is more than just a mortal that can see through a mist. She almost became a sorceress. Here we can see that Percy isn't 100% Team Tyson. And I thought this story arc might have been cut, but I'm glad it's not, as it's important not only for Tyson's story and acceptance, but also Percy's character growth. Because, as Sally says, real heroes stand up for others, and this is a theme and message we will see continue developed in the Riordanverse as we've seen in the Court of the Dead. Percy and Tyson then head to school, and Tyson is wearing a Mets hat to try and hide his appearance. And I love this for a lot of reasons. One, despite the pain they cause me, I am a huge Mets fan. And 2, as we well know, Annabeth wears a Yankees cap of invisibility. And if you know anything about baseball, it's that the Mets do not like the Yankees and the Yankees do not like the Mets. So this shows us tension between Tyson and Annabeth before we even see Annabeth. But we don't have to wait long. Annabeth comes speeding in the Grey Sisters' taxi. Tyson picks up Percy to shield him. And Annabeth appears invisible at first, but then reveals herself with her dagger, demanding Tyson put Percy down. And it's a very funny scene as they're both trying to protect Percy in their own way. Percy steps in and tries to calm things down. However, Tyson ends up embarrassing Percy by mentioning that Tyson knows Annabeth. She's the girl in the photo that Percy is always staring at. And not 5 minutes later, Annabeth is the one being embarrassed by the Grey Sisters as they reveal that she called Percy cute. A super adorable Percabeth moment. Now, unfortunately, Tyson and Percy never make it to school, which kind of defeats the purpose of the title of the episode because they never actually play dodgeball. Annabeth reveals that she's had dreams of camp, and Percy reveals he's had dreams of Grover, much like the book. From there, they hop in the taxi and head to camp. And the cab ride is a perfect book recreation of hectic. I love the 70s theme the cab has going, including the music. The sisters reveal they know where Grover is, but don't tell Percy until he holds their eye out the window. They then give Percy the numbers 30, 31, 75, 12, just like in the book. And while Percy and Annabeth may steal this scene, we can't forget Tyson. Watching him hide in his hat was so funny. Tyson needs to be protected at all costs. The trio arrives at camp, and here we can see things are a bit tense and perhaps distant between Percy and Annabeth. Two worlds trying to find a middle ground. Their convo, however, is interrupted by a flaming ball that they dodge. Okay, I guess they do play dodgeball. Kinda. They are attacked by Listergonian giants. And since the giant attack is at camp instead of school, this does mean that the giants replace the automaton bulls. Percy is almost killed, and just like in the book, Tyson blocks the attack, where it's revealed that Cyclops are immune to fire. They make it to the camp border, but Tyson is repelled back. And when Tyson and the cannonballs hit the border, they're repelled with lightning, which may be because the border is powered by Thalia's tree. Thalia, a daughter of Zeus. And if this is on purpose, this is a super cool detail. Annabeth then gives Tyson permission to enter camp, but accidentally allows in a giant. Percy and Annabeth ready for attack. And we get our first look at Riptide this season. But the giant is quickly handled by Clarice, who is on border patrol, just like in the book. Annabeth then thinks, why would they attack the back of camp? And she realizes it has to be a distraction. They make it just in time to see Luke poison Thalia's tree. Luke then escapes on Blackjack, which makes me think, why does Luke need a Pegasus when Backbiter can just open portals as we saw last season? I hope they explain this. Percy then explains to Tyson that Thalia was a hero who sacrificed herself. And this is such a flip from last season.
The most powerful being in the universe's best idea to save his daughter's life was to turn her into a tree?
Thalia was a hero who made her last stand right here to protect her friends.
Really showing the character growth that Percy went through last season. We're then introduced to Tantalus, who Percy calls the food guy. Tantalus responds by ordering the camp to kill Tyson. But true to the book, the camp has to stand down when Tyson is claimed by Poseidon. And the music that plays is the same music that played when Percy got claimed in season 1. A nice little touch. We then cut to Mr. D laughing over this new development, and it's such a perfect reintroduction for the god. It's revealed here that Tantalus is the new camp director, put in charge by none other than Zeus. Chiron has been banned for being a son of Kronos, and Chiron is just not here, where in the book, Percy saw him right as he was leaving camp. And in the book, Chiron was blamed for poisoning Thalia's tree, which was the reason he was banned. There was actual suspicion, not just speculation. Being banned for being a son of Kronos, as Percy points out, is just stupid.
It's just that's a stupid reason.
Oh?
Zeus is also a son of Kronos. Why doesn't he just brood himself?
Zeus is all, but I guess Zeus doesn't always think too straight. So I'll let this one slide. Mr. D says camp is in danger, but it's revealed that the danger that Mr. D is worried about is the fact that the newly reinstated chariot race might be canceled. We then see Mr. D eating popcorn, which is a straight up reference to The Sun and the Star, where Mr. D eats popcorn as he entertains himself with demigod drama. Percy is then thrown into cabin confinement with Tyson, which is another change from the book. Percy is escorted by 2 campers. And holy poetry, is that Will Solus? Probably not, but I do think this was an intentional reference to the son of Apollo. Once in cabin 3, we see that Percy is upset with Tyson for not telling him he was a son of Poseidon. We also see that Percy and Annabeth are upset with each other, both for not reaching out more over the past year. So there's a lot of tension going on this season. Tyson then explains that he was once attacked by a sphinx, who told him he was the son of a nature spirit and a god, but he didn't know which god. That's why he didn't tell Percy. We can also see the scars on his back, and I love that they added this detail from the book. It really shows just how lost and alone Tyson has been, and it really makes your heart feel for him. We then see that Annabeth is at Thalia's tree, and she asks for a sign. We then fade to Percy's dream, which starts with him in a cave, and the entrance looks like an eye. And like, come on, that is just so cool and excellent foreshadowing. We see Grover being delivered to Polyphemus, and Percy is then shut in the cave. And I already like how they're doing the dreams way more this season, much closer to how they were in the book. Percy is actually transported to the location, and in the cave we can see some satyr skulls, but we also see mirrors, which is from Percy's location. And in one of the mirror we see Grover, a nice callback to Percy looking at the picture of him in the beginning of the episode. Grover then explains why their surroundings are mixed, and why their clothes are switching. It's the empathy link, and I love how they're doing it. It's a great visual representation of it. Grover then explains that Polyphemus has the fleece, and has been tricking satyrs, and he needs Percy to come and rescue him. Grover then gives Percy the same numbers that the Grey sisters did before waking up. Percy then pieces together that they're coordinates, much earlier than in the book. But again, it doesn't hinder the story. We then zoom in on a poster of the Sea of Monsters. And this is a great way to end the episode and a great introduction to the season. We get one more scene where Annabeth's sign has been answered. Percy knows how they're going to save Thalia's tree. We then jump to the credits, which are once again filled with references. Polyphemus, Scylla, Charybdis, I think Cece's spa and resort, Florida, which is where they'll end up after getting the fleece, the Princess Andromeda, maybe Polyphemus's island, Hippocampi, which hopefully we'll see next episode, Clarissa's ship, which I think has been renamed from the Birmingham, but we shall see, the Stymphalian birds, potentially the Queen Anne's Revenge, the Sirens, a compass because, well, they're at sea, Thalia's tree, which is surrounded by clouds and Stymphalian birds, almost like a telescope, showing us that this is a very important part of the season. We get the chariot race and track, Clarissa's undead army, again what I believe is the Sirens, although this is not what they looked like on their poster. I think this might be Polyphemus's island. And then we zoom up into the sky with lots of constellations. We can see a Pegasus, an archer, a ship, Scylla, a centaur, a chariot, more hippocampi, and tons of fun nods to the season. And this could potentially be an Easter egg or foreshadowing to season 3, because as we know, constellations will kind of play an important part at the end. If you know, you know. We then see the thermos of winds with someone blowing. This could be Aeolus, the god of the winds. We also see the Princess Andromeda and the Grey Sisters taxi. We then get Cece, the Queen Anne's Revenge with Cece's spa and resort, Scylla and Charybdis, Hippocampi, Polyphemus inside Polyphemus's eye, which is super cool. And then everything once again comes together to form what is season 2 and what to expect in the Sea of Monsters. In my opinion, season 2 is already better than season 1. It's much more fast-paced, and despite only having one battle, the episode was exciting and never dragged. There have been changes from the book, but nothing that hurts the story in my opinion. And they did a great job of condensing and adapting it into a show format, including the most important parts of the story, even if they happen a little out of order. This was a great introduction to the season, bringing us right back into the world of Percy Jackson. But before you go, don't forget to enter my giveaway for this poster. I'll pick a winner next week. To enter, all you have to do is subscribe to me and comment your favorite part of the episode down below. But until next time, that's all I have for you, Half-Bloods. So I'm signing off, and please, as always, stay safe.